Hey guys, so here's your workout for the day. I'm going to give you a quick breakdown of what the sequence is going to be. For each movement, there's going to be 3 movements. You're going to do each movement for 30 seconds on, 20 seconds rest, and you're going to do that 3 times through. So each movement, 1, 2, and 3. That'll be 1 round. Once you're done with that 1 round, you take a rest for however long you need, 20 to a minute. And then you're going to do that same round again, up to 5 times, up to 10 times, right? I'm going to leave that up to your own discretion, what your body feels like. You know where you guys are at, what's going on with you, your stress levels, the way your body's feeling right now. But I want you to push for 5, but maybe go to 10 if you can, if you're feeling good. If you're feeling better, go even further than that. It doesn't matter to me. But what's key about these movements is that you're in control the whole entire time you're making these movements. So it's not a race in those 30 seconds. It's not like a Tabata to see how fast you can do it. What matters is that you're controlling your body and proprioception in space and time, being able to accelerate your body and slow it down and stabilize throughout the whole entire movement. So keep that in mind while we're doing everything. So your first movement that you're going to do for 30 seconds is called a beast position or a beast hold. And it's a static hold. It's a variation of a plank, if you will. And it's priming up the body. It's giving you a chance to activate some of those stabilizer muscles that we tend to neglect more than anything in the world. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be in a 4-point position here. My toes are going to be curled up underneath my feet, right? So I'm going to be on the balls of my feet if I can, if you have the flexibility. My knees are going to be underneath my belly button, not underneath my hips, but underneath my belly button. And so imagine that I have a weight, like pendulum, hanging down from my belly button, and it should be in between my knees, or my knees should be encasing that pendulum, right? If my knees are back behind that string, they're too far back, and if they're too far forward, same thing, right? I want them right underneath my belly button. Now my hands, I'm going to take in, I'm going to screw into the ground. I'm going to take my elbows there, I'm going to screw them into the ground so I lock in the AC joint, my shoulder blades sink back down into my back. And I have a good neutral straight spine, and I'm trying to press the ground away from my body. Keeping that neutral straight spine, I'm going to take my knees and I'm just going to lift them up just high enough to slide a piece of paper under, right? So I don't want them up here. I don't want them resting on the ground. I want them just off the ground. Again, so someone can take a piece of paper and slide it underneath, and that's about it. From here, I'm going to hold this position for 30 seconds. For 30 seconds, I'm going to sit there. I'm going to lock everything into place. I'm going to work on my diaphragmatic breathing. So I'm going to breathe in through the nose. I'm going to hold for a second in the gut. I want you to breathe in through the gut, not through the lungs, but through the gut. Exhale out. Hold for a second with no air in your lungs, and then inhale again. So diaphragmatic breathing for 30 seconds, everything locked into place, and you're just gonna hold. Once you get those 30 seconds, you're gonna rest for 20 seconds. The next movement is gonna be a switch or a movement off of that bear or that beast position. It's gonna be called what's an under switch. An under switch is I'm going to switch my body from this beast position to a crab position. So there's a couple of things I want you to pay attention to as you make that movement. My hand, if I'm going to turn to my right side, my right hand is going to come up and over. My left foot, my left leg is going to come underneath my body. You guys might recognize this from some of our grappling classes or our switches, things of that sort. This is a great way to start getting those anti-rotational muscles activated in our body. So my under switch, again, my knees are just off the ground. My hand goes above, my foot goes underneath, and I switch my whole entire body underneath. I try to keep my body as close as I can to the ground as I switch into a crab position. Now this crab position, my feet are a little bit outside my knee or a little bit further than my knee. My hands are screwed in underneath my shoulders, and watch my shoulders as I screw my hands in. Right? You see my shoulder blades sink back down into my spine, stabilizing that core, and my chest starts to rise up towards the rising sun. I don't want my shoulders slouched over, and I don't want them overcommitted where I'm looking up towards the sky. I actually want my gaze looking up towards the rising or setting sun. My butt is just off the ground, again, for that piece of paper to slide underneath. So this is my crab position. So again, starting from that beast position, Knees just off the ground, hands screwed in, balls of my feet. I'm gonna switch, hand goes up, leg goes underneath. I switch, keep myself as close as I possibly can, turn and switch and go into that crab position. Now I'm gonna switch back the way I came, and I'm gonna do so by taking my foot off the brake. So I'm gonna press the throttle. You can see with my right foot, I'm gonna press the throttle, kind of lift my butt up just a little bit, and I'm gonna come back around the other way into a beast position. So again, switch, and then switch back. Now I'm gonna go the other way. My right foot's gonna go underneath, my left hand's gonna go up. I'm gonna switch, and I'm gonna come back the other way. And I'm gonna go back and forth for 30 seconds, and at the end, rest for 20 seconds. This switch is not as fast as you can do it. I'm not looking to see how fast you can switch back and forth. I want you to actually slow it down and be as smooth and controlled as possible between each transition. So as I transition, I'm gonna go smooth and as controlled as I can. And as I go back, smooth and controlled as I can. Going back the other way, smooth, controlled, smooth, controlled. So we're gonna do that for 30 seconds, then rest for 20 seconds. The next movement is a side kick through. Now is gonna be a variation of that under switch, but instead of coming all the way around, I'm gonna kick my leg through into a side kick through position. So my hand goes up, my foot comes underneath, all of that stays the same, but now I'm gonna drive my toe out perpendicular to my body. I'm gonna roll my weight over on the shoulder, my foot is off the ground, and I'm gonna open up my oblique sling by pulling my opposite hand back. I'm gonna switch and go the opposite way. My right foot goes underneath, my left hand comes up. I point and drive my toe out. My foot never touches the ground. I roll this shoulder forward and I pull my left hand back, opening up that oblique sling. In this direction, from this direction. So my side kick through. So I'm gonna do that for 30 seconds, rest for 20 seconds. So your motions, again, your movements again, 30 seconds, beast hold. Concentrate on your breathing. Everything locked into place. Your second movement, under switch. 30 seconds on, 20 seconds off. Good, controlled, smooth movements. Back and forth. Next movement, side kick through. Again, 30 seconds on, 20 seconds off. Side kick through. "30 seconds on, 20 seconds off. Rinse and repeat from 5 to 10 rounds. Again, good control movements all the way through. Don't try to go as fast as you can. Try to control your body in space and time. Work on consistency, right? If you can do it slow, then it's easy when you add momentum. Couple of modifications, especially for that side kick through. If you're having some shoulder issues or anything of that sort, or it's just a little bit more difficult, as I do the side kick through, I'm gonna sit that hip down and put my weight down on that hip. It takes a little bit of weight off that shoulder. If I have some back issues also, it takes some weight off that back, but I'm still gonna go through all of the motion. But if you listen, I'm just gonna drag my foot on the ground. If you want a modification to make it harder, you're gonna do what's called a jump sit through. So I'm gonna take that side kick through, and now I'm gonna jump. In the air, I'm gonna switch my feet and go to the other side. From this angle, I'm gonna side kick through, I'm gonna jump, switch to the other side. And there's your workout for the day. 30 seconds on, 20 seconds off, all 3 movements, 5 rounds to 10 rounds, depending on what your body feels like. Go have some fun.